Good morning. Okay, now it's working. And how's everyone doing today? All right, let me get the chat popped out that's shared around, and then we'll start doing what we're doing. I'm actually awake this morning, which is fantastic. Let's copy that. Oh, look, I'm finally allowed to pin messages to the top of my chat. Isn't that nice? And what? Control copy. No, control copy. All right, let's try this from scratch. Pop out. Control copy. Now the chat is live. All right. Alan, good morning. Good morning, Alan. How are we doing today, buddy? All right. Let's get this switched over. Who else is here? Eileen. Eileen. Hi, Eileen. So, good morning, kids, and let's have some coffee. Oh, boy. Getting bean cuddles and snuggles. Oh, that's the best, isn't it? Man, little man came over, and I had a really rough day or rough night or something. I don't remember what the reason was, but little man came over and gave me a nice big bear hug and started like massaging my shoulders. And you know what? I don't even care why I was upset. That fixed everything. Bean wave tie. Yay! Oh, boy. Well, I've been loving this heat wave we've been going through. The hot and the cold, and now the rain is playing havoc with my joints. And I don't know if it's the same for me or whatever. And Alan, got to pick up some wood later. Ooh. What for? I actually have some scrap projects that are going to be rather nice, because I dropped off some belts over to the I dropped off some belts to the store that I'm in. It's M&M Bloom. It's over in Luzerne. And well, I got these cutoffs from these. I just bought some belt blanks because I wanted to get something easy, quick, done, and shipped up to them. I mean, $12 for spending $12 and a $2 buckle on a belt that I'm gonna sell for $50. The math works out just fine. Maybe wet mold it a little bit to get that a little bit tighter. Glue and stitch this into a handle, maybe a little bit down here instead, and preserve the hanging hole that originally came when they hung up all the belt blanks. Just saying. And that way it's not scrap. It is no longer scrap. Yes, Eileen, baby snuggles are the best. And neighbor has some rough cut black walnut live edge she's given me. Oh, goodness gracious. That is a beautiful thing. let's see. And for some reason, some weirdo filled my grandma's cookie, or my grandma's sewing kit with cookies. Who does that? But they are tasty. So I think I'll be having some today. I'm not the only one who grew up with thinking that these Danish cookies were really just sewing cases, right? 1x4s, 1x6s, and at least one 2x12. Oh, wow! And Eileen, me too. Button bin. All right. All right, so let's get this live stream shared to Facebook, and then we have some stuff to talk about, and yeah, we'll get on with this. And Eileen, it's been great marketing that they haven't done yet, right? Facebook copy. Let me take this. Oh wow, the thumbnail for this video actually doesn't make me look like I'm high. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Jill has one of those sewing kits in her car. I mean, they work perfect, don't they? There's nowhere for you to lose a needle. You pop it open, everything's right there. And actually, if you keep the little doily trays, like the little muffin things, you actually have your own little compartments. Now, which ones are your favorites? You got the pretzels. You got these little guys here. I don't know what these are. You have the coconut ones. You got the plain ones, and then you have like the flat biscuits that have the sugar on them. The pretzel ones that have the sugar on them. I'm addicted. Let's be honest. My cookie consumption is actually a problem, but I'm not going to stop. All right. So a few things we're going to be doing today is I want to burn up some scrap. And the best way for me to burn up scrap is to take my strap cutter and to make a bunch of these guys. Just little simple little simple little bracelets, and people love these. Selling these for $5 a pop. But before we do that, I haven't quite deadened the noise adequately enough on my leather bench here. So I got some acoustic foam. Some of this stuff. So my thought is to cut and glue that to the underside here, because I got a strip here that's maybe 8 inches wide, and then I have another strip that is 15 inches wide. So, gonna get those done, and then another idea: leather strap hinges for small keepsakes, stash boxes. That would be good. I mean, especially like with my, this scrap, which is like 2-3 ounce. There's really nothing you can do with, small chunks except something like that. So if I do start making a bunch of those little scrap boxes or whatever, that would be fantastic. Yo, what up, homie? Good morning, Ken. How we doing? I'm enjoying my morning. I woke up in a great mood today. Having a wee bit of coffee, enjoying some cookies out of a sewing container, and getting ready to burn up some scrap and get my table one step closer to being finished. And we are going to be this week I'm going to be making a table for right there to both hide all that awfulness. I don't know if I can this rotate? No, not really. There's just a whole lot going on over here. So I'm going to be making a table with a couple shelves up top to mount my 3D printer on, and then also my laser cutter, which will be here hopefully by the end of next week. That's part of the deal of making those swords. The guy is going to take the price of the laser cutter out of the remainder he owes me. So it's like buying it with less steps for me. Then he's going to come down and train me on how to use it, how to cut things and stuff. So I could be engraving wood and printing something here for either for sale for itself or as a model to be to be cast later while I'm over here working on some leather work while I'm home. It just makes my days home a very productive thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week, and it's going to hopefully take care of most of this unsightliness, and then either next week or the week after, depending on how things shake out, I'm actually going to be building my sewing table, and that way this whole room is more or less complete. So then it's just a matter of clean up, find a home for everything, and then it's all pretty succinctly done, and then I can move on to other areas of this house. But once I have this money making area here done and taken care of, I think that'll take a lot of stress off me and the wife, just because stuff. But I could also pour epoxy on that table then. So I need to get that table, I need to actually put levelers. That's something I forgot about. I need to make levelers for that table, because that table has to be dead flat for both the printer, the engraver, and if I'm going to be pouring any epoxies or anything, it all has to be dead flat. So yeah, just you being here brought that back to my mind, that everything has to be 3-axis level. So it's never scrap, just haven't found a use for it yet. Well, I mean, while that is one way to look at it, I think that's a dangerous thought pattern to go down, because that leads to hoarding of materials, because at one time I had one of those metal waste baskets that was maybe that wide and that tall, like the mesh metal waste baskets, full of like, 1/8 inch, 16th inch, 1/4 inch, cut off from various different steels. I kept all the punch outs from my my Whitney punch. I mean, and most of it was all mild steel, so and I didn't even have a forge at the time. That's scrap. There's a lot of stuff in here that's scrap, because the way I see it is, if it's not economically viable for me to hold on to it and then build something from it later, or if the building something from it will take more time than just buying a new piece and then cutting that down to what I need. There's several different versions of what turns scrap into scrap. Ken, I bought levelers that I'm not using if you need them. Quite possibly. That'd actually be rather thoughtful of you. I was just gonna take some T-nuts and sink them into the bottom of my feet, and then put make a donut or something out of some 2x4 scrap and drill a hole in it and epoxy the bolt into there, and then it's a nice big chunky thing. But I'll definitely take a look at the levelers you have. The only reason I'm even thinking about doing all those extra steps is because these floors suck. They're pretty to look at, but they're very fragile. They dent and scratch very easily. It's the cheap floating flooring that you get. Look very pretty, but they're also very flexible. They're very easy to dent, and this room is naturally very hot, so it makes this composite stuff softer. So, that's the type I bought. Well, I'll definitely take a look at them. I'm going to be there all day tomorrow, and I'll be there pretty much all day tomorrow. And I think I'm going to build those shelves in 2 stages, because I think I'm going to I'm going to build one here first, and I'll get the other piece queued up for maybe later this week. Alan, metal yes, leather different. If nothing else, boil up the scrap pieces and make it into glue. True. But if I'm charging, let's say I'm charging $35 an hour plus materials, will I get $35 of glue out of doing that whole more than $35 of glue out of doing that whole process, including gathering all the stuff, going through that process, in and of itself, extracting all the collagen and all the tannins and stuff from the leather, and then clean up afterwards. Let's see, Ken, what did you send me? Oh yeah, definitely. I will definitely take those in a heartbeat, man. Yeah, please. Why aren't you using them? Is something wrong with it, or? I don't know what I don't know if I need a new pillow or something because my neck is just killing me. But we're 20 minutes in, so let's get this rolling. Oh, and they're fine, just didn't do the project I bought them for. Well, yeah, I'll definitely take them. Let's see, this week, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be finishing those swords that I've been working on. However, I finished a table. It was kind of a rush order. And I ended up delivering it late on Friday at like 8, 9, almost 9 o'clock. And here's the table. Yeah, I built this thing so fast. I didn't have enough time to actually take pictures and video of it. Well, thank you. I actually got a complaint on it, which I need to figure out exactly what happened. Because, so I stained it, left it alone for a little bit, waited till it was all nice and dry, wiped it down, made sure it was all good. And then I came back my usual amount of time, and I sprayed the lacquer on it that I've used for everything. Like, this table, this here. Like, there's no sanding even done to most of this project. And the lacquer gives a beautiful, glossy finish. Now, it's not, glass smooth, but it feels like it's almost like 1,000 grit sandpaper. So there is some slight variation. That's just pibs and stuff. But yeah, it's almost perfectly smooth. But this table, for whatever reason, I did the same amount of time. I did the same lacquering process. I all the same materials. Plywood, Minwax stain, the same lacquer that I've been using for everything. And she said this table's too rough to even run your hand across. So I don't know what happened, but I'm going to be picking it up tomorrow morning, and going through the whole spiel of getting it, sanding it to with 800 grit, I think, just to remove all the roughness, take down all the pibs that have developed, and refinish the whole thing. Because I don't know, but I should at least be able to take a nice little video. But the cool thing about this table is everything breaks down. So the pillar is 3 sections. I forget what the lengths of 2 of them are, but one of them is 10 inches. So you have a finished height of 32 inches and a finished height of 42 inches. So you can sit or stand at it, and it'd be a normal table height. Like this leather table here is, I think, 30 inches. This table here is like 31 inches. So it's a nice, good, table height. The feet break apart, and the top is actually on a turntable. So everything, you have 4 or 5 different combinations on how to build this table out. So I'm Alan, temperature difference maybe? Possibly. It could have been possibly the temperature difference. It could have been that warm front moving in. It could have been, I know we had a slight drizzle, so maybe the advanced humidity ahead of the storm could have done something to it. I don't know. There are so many variables that I can't account for because my shop isn't a climate-controlled area. Hell, I can't even keep the rain out of my shop right now. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but it's something that does need to, I need to get that, take it down and dress it. But I'll be able to take some pictures and maybe even do a quick TikTok video of it or something, or maybe just a Facebook Live video, and really work it till it's a nice glossy, smooth surface. And I'll go through and I'll resand the whole thing too, because I don't like things not working out nicely. Let's see. Ken, by the way, I saved the gnome. Not cured yet, so no pics. Awesome. I can't wait to see how that turns out. I got really excited when you were telling me about that project, and I think it's just going to be awesome. So it's 9:30. Let's actually get to doing some work. So I need to cut this guy down. I need some scissors. I have some scissors. See, Eileen, temperature has been messing with my epoxy curing times. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about all that, to be honest with you. Like, especially when I start doing, my epoxy pours and resin pours and stuff. For the winter, I think I might do them here if I get some super low VOC stuff. But I don't know. And Alan, speaking of tables, I got asked if I wanted to join in on a project to make a medium-sized period correct table. Ooh, that's fun. Now, here's my question on that. How period correct are they going to go? Is it going to be Home Depot lumber period correct? Or are you going to go out into the woods, fell a tree, using only hand tools, drag it to a location, strip it, cut it, plane it, stack it, with your stickers, and let it cure for a while, for a year or two, take it, and using only hand tools and hand measurements. Like, are you going to do it that way, or are you just going to, get the Home Depot stuff and use power tools and just make a period looking table, or what's... And what is medium sized? 2x4, 1x8. And from what period? Is it going to be a Viking table? Is it going to be a a medieval Europe table, later Renaissance where it gets a little bit fancy, you get some nicer legs, some something post-Roman, maybe by 40 or 50 to 100 years after the fall of Constantinople, where they still have, they don't have all the ornate fittings, but they still have that really pretty shape, that they still have the tools and the craftsmanship, the expertise to do that sort of thing. And ooh, I got tagged in a post. Someone tagged me in a post on building custom mirrors, coffin-shaped mirrors. It's cool that people they're starting to think, hey, here's this thing. I wonder if Chris and I can build it. And the answer is yes, I can. Might take some time, might take a lot of cussing, but I can build anything. Speaking of tables, do you want the money up front for that table we discussed for behind the couch? You know what? I think it was 175. No, because it's only gonna be like 2 foot depth, right? And like 4 feet long. So I'll just get, because I still have to buy a couple sheets of plywood. You know what? Yeah, I'll take the money up front for that, and it'll be ready. Not the end of this week, but the end of next week. So the end of next week, just stop by the shop and shoot me the money. I'll go get the materials right then and there, and we'll get the whole thing, worked out. Alan. Have to drive down to Virginia to work on it. The master woodworker I was speaking with is one who asked me to be part of the project. That's cool. That's really cool. Please send pictures, because I want to see the process. I want to see, all the tools you're using, how you're doing your layout. I want to see the finished product. I want to see how, what stains and finishes you apply to it. I want to know everything. So, I need to find a marker or something. Yep, pen will work. Oh, never mind. I got the Sharpie. Can get it to you on Friday, but there's no rush on the table. Well, here's the thing, Ken. As soon as I have something on my books, I want to get it off as quickly as possible. Within reason. So, because I don't have room to hold on to things, especially scrap. Especially considering how, the state of the shop and, it raining on the inside. It already has ruined several materials and a few projects, and has been on the verge of ruining a few tools. Like my lathe right now is in desperate need of some TLC because of all the rain damage it's taken. Move the hurdy-gurdy. I love, by the way, I absolutely love this thing. Like, just listen to the sound. I know it's just a toy, basically, but I absolutely love this thing. I love playing with it. When I'm trying to think of something, or I'm just sitting here waiting for my barge cement to dry. This thing is just a source of immense fun. So this was crystal clear slime before the little man got a hold of it. Now it's like a color. Let's get that out of the way. Oh, here's the tape I was looking for. Get that up there. These up out of the way. So this rack here that I built on my leather working table, leather bench, is way more useful than I thought it was going to be. It's way more useful. I mean, that's a great thing, right? So let me see. What sizes do I have here? This guy is about 31 by 32. This table's only what? Is it even 2 foot deep? No, it's 15 inches. So let's mark it on the back, because that's going to be a lot easier to mark and cut. Let's flip it under like this. Inches. We'll do another 15 inches. Come down here. And this side was what, 8 inches? And this side was 15 inches. Okay. So, do 15. And 15. This one's 8 inches. Now, I don't have it, but the best way to cut foam like this isn't with scissors or even a knife. The best way is that oscillating like turkey carver that has the two double D size knives, shaped knives that oscillate back and forth against each other. That is hands down the best and fastest way to cut foam, especially for somebody at home. Just don't let your wife catch you doing it, because she will murder you. Just friendly advice. There's one piece. Thrift shop tool shopping. Yeah. All right, let's make sure this. I'm pretty sure the downstairs neighbors will, they always tend to have the, yes they do. Yes, they generally always have those, because, let's be honest, most people only use those knives like once a year. And since they're used so infrequently, they're usually the first thing to get tossed. Especially because everyone always wants a new kitchen knife. So, you know, especially if someone dies or something, you'll take their kitchen knives, but you won't take their turkey carving knife, because you have one, and you only use it once a year, so you know it's in perfect shape, perfect condition. So why would you take another one? Well, So yeah, thrift shops always have those. Now, time for some. Let's make sure these fit first. One there, perfect. Fit right there, nice and good. Awesome. So, how does this stuff work? Directions. All surfaces clean, free of dirt, oil, blah, blah, blah. Protect sanitizers, overspray residues that don't care. Shake can well before using. Okay, so it's got to look something rather obscene while I'm shaking this. 6 to 8 inches from surface. For maximum bonding, spray both surfaces to be joined. Allow to dry to tack. Approximately 1 minute. Press surfaces firmly together. For repositionable bond, spray a light, even coat on one surface. Allow to dry 1 to 3 minutes before joining. Repositionable up to 10 minutes, depending on surface type, then becomes permanent. Oh, so yeah, so I might even put some underneath here. I have enough left over. Put a strip underneath here, maybe about halfway back, and maybe I'll do one on the, you know, a couple strips on the other table since I have some left over. I'm just trying to keep the noise down a little bit for the microphone. So. this one. Oh, gotta make sure to clear the tip. There we go. That stuff is sticky. Oh, better be. It's spray adhesive, right? Where did that cap go? So, what is everyone's plans for today? My plan is to get some more vape stuff at the very least. Clean the house some, and make the best out of this rainy day. By the way, I've worn this a few times at the shop, and I think this shirt is going to be a permanent addition, and I might either buy more or make a bunch more. If I'm going to make some, I do have some modifications. Like I love this tie system here on the shirt. So I'll probably be keeping that. Definitely doing something different here. And the collar. I mean, it's like a mock collar almost, but it like dips down at the back of the neck. And I'd prefer, first off, if you're going to do a mock collar, I'd rather it be kind of uniform all across the throat, not dipping down in the back where I'm going to get a cold breeze. But I think having a lay down collar would be even nicer, just because, you know, as you're working and stuff, if it's cold or if there's a lot of, you know, crap flying around, that you could pop that collar, maybe even cinch that around so that it, you know, comes up kind of here and actually keeps your whole neck protected. Arms definitely have to be a little bit more baggy, and you see them in older clothes. Also, I forget the name of it, but they have gussets, like in the crotch of their pants, but also in the arms of their you know, they have a gusset in the armpits of their shirts. That way, like, your shirt doesn't rise up and stuff, and it gives you a little bit more mobility. And also maybe like 3 inches longer on the waist. But, you know, it's a medium to heavy muslin, and it is, I've been welding with this thing on, I've been grinding with this, I've been forging with it, I did some woodworking with it, and I was cool and dry the entire time, protected me from all the sparks, all the UV radiation, and the dragon's breath from the forge, while keeping me nice and cool. Definitely getting a million of these shirts. So, Ken, going back to work. Eileen is cleaning the house and trying to make a new recipe today. Ooh, and you're packing your bag for a work trip to Texas. Nice. And Alan is waiting for the neighbor to get here and then load up the truck. All right. So it seems like everyone has a nice busy week ahead of them. Get that back there. This guy pressed in. Okay. All right. Okay, so that, that did make it, that foam did deaden it a decent amount. And I think if I'm working on a regular basis, doing stuff, I think that should help the neighbor downstairs not hate me a little bit more than she does already. Good. Let's see, Alan, figure out which board I want to use first in my crafting. All right. I mean, you're getting some nice black walnut, so I mean that's going to be a hard decision. And Fallen from Grace. Good morning, Jolene. And you are currently making breakfast. Well, this is my breakfast right here. Because when it comes to cookies, I have a problem. Yeah, that did deaden that sound down quite a bit. So that's nice. All right. Where are the sewing supplies? I don't know. I bought this from the store. I thought I was going to get needles and buttons and some odd pieces of thread. And it came in with cookies. So bizarre. So I said I was going to show you how to make some of these bracelets. We have like, what, 5 minutes left? Let me find some scrap. Oh, look, scrap. Got that. That was graceful. I believe it's this guy. Nope. Bigger. Yep. Okay. This. This. Okay, so let me get the droid cam set up. Droid cam. Droid cam. Start. Let's get this swapped over to the thingamajigger. Alright, and let's do this here. So we got this. Oh, I also need a straight edge. And I don't know where to put my razor knife. That's fine, doesn't matter that much. I have a couple straight edges here. What's that thickness? 1/2 inch? Strap cutters are invaluable for burning up scrap. It's got to be kind of careful getting it started because you can easily send your finger into that razor blade. Just want to keep a little counter pressure, so I'm not feeding straight. I'm actually feeding like this, just to make sure everything's butted up here against the fence, so I get a nice even cut. And that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got this. So these are all going to be slightly different size. That's fine. Now these little rounded punches, super cheap, super crappy, but they are like the most useful things on earth when you're doing something like this. Just because, I mean, look how fast I'm able to pop these out. It would take me 5 times longer doing it by hand. And if you're going to get into leather working, just get the cheapest ones you can. And instead of waiting for them to dull or whatever over time, because they will, just get the cheapest ones you can, and when they start to dull, replace them. I think this whole set was like $15 and there was like 10 of them. This on this side. What side? Which way does buttonhole face? Faces towards those. And bing, bang, boom. In what, 6 minutes, I took 3, you know, these are only a couple pennies a piece. These holes are tighter than I remember. There we go. Boom. Bracelet. $5. At 6, 12, 18, 24 cents and some scrap, and 5 minutes. Made $20. At least $20 worth of product. So, not really even many tools. Like the strap cutter is like $5. This is like $5. These are $15. This was, you know, $13. That's the most expensive one. You just get the right size. And I mean, that doesn't really take much. And you can batch a bunch of these out. And they're adjustable. These holes are tight. Pretty sure these are the right size holes. Oh, I don't think so, but it doesn't matter. Tight just means it won't come off as easily. Boom, 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 boom. And as much as I hate doing cheap things, I'm just very, very diametrically opposed to doing cheap projects. Something like this, for whatever reason, people go buck nutty over, and they expect it to be kind of rough. So even having the edges unfinished is a normal thing. let's get back over the chat screen and wind this day out. So, I mean, boom. Like, how can you go wrong doing something like that? I see it as a very quick and easy project. Makes a lot of people happy. And makes me happy because it's quick, makes a lot of money, and it keeps me from bleeding more money out. You know, so it takes those more expensive projects, and I can kind of subsidy the price of that, so I can bring the price of bigger, more complex projects, and I'm able to make things a little bit cheaper because I have that cheap product that kind of goes off nice and quick. So just a thought. And there actually are ways to make stuff like this even easier. Like, you don't need that special punch. You can just use your standard rotary punch. You don't need a buttonhole punch. You can use your rotary punch and a little knife. You just pop your hole and nick it. And you can do that round end with a regular knife. It's just a lot faster to do it that way. You can even buy pre-cut strapping from the store, and I think the same company, Real Leather. I think I got this at Joann Fabric. Yeah, so this is the button studs. $10 for a pack of 20, so they're what, 50 cents a piece. So say $1.50 to make them, and I sell them for $5, and people are happy with that. So yeah, it allows me to subsidize more expensive projects, and the whole learning process of doing stuff. So I don't know, I see it as a win-win. Anyways, guys, I have a lot of stuff to do today, so I'm gonna get going on that. And I actually have a video for you guys this week. So on Friday, I will be uploading the making of a Sporon. Yeah, it's actually going to be a real normal produced video. So that's going to be kind of cool. Now I'm getting back into that. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thank you for helping me make this world better, one kerf at a time. And I'll see y'all next week.